Hello, my friends. So, I tried to get out 9 cards, and of course I got 10. But the decks, all of my decks, have been behaving very oddly today. I had decks close on me 2 or 3 times. I mean, it didn't really matter because I was done shuffling anyway. But decks don't usually close on me during a reading, so that's to have multiple decks close on me in one day. That's extremely odd. Yeah. And then I went to pick up this deck to do this reading, and as I was tipping it out of the box, it escaped from my hand and knocked another deck to the floor, so there were cards everywhere. Oh, jeez, there's some more cards I missed. There may still be some cards missing somewhere in here, which I guess is going to inspire me to be doing some cleaning up in here today, just so I can find my cards. All right. So I don't know what's going on with that. That's just extremely odd. My cards do not do this. All right. So this was the last card I pulled. And it was not, I was not looking for a 10th card, but there it is. And it is Fox. Self-interest, stealth, deceit, trap. Redhead, which I don't like using that. That's really biased to me, but sharp, sleight of hand, something's off. Wrong, cunning, sly, crafty. So when I combine this card with the whip card, I know you can't really see it, sorry, which was the first one out, I get somebody who has been forced into dealing with their stuff. They didn't want to, they really didn't want to, and whatever it was that forced you into dealing with it, well, I don't know what it was for sure, but I can guess. Because we have the Twin Flames card here. So it seems like you were not dealing with your stuff, and you ended up in a soul connection. And that definitely has a catalytic effect on growth. So you probably weren't welcoming this at all. So whip, implies forced action. Somebody cracks the whip and you have to do it, because if you don't, you get hurt. So I'm sure you were very reluctant to begin this journey. Most people are. All right, but then we have Sunrise, the next card up. Sunrise. And the ship. That's really interesting, because it's, this is a happy beginning, new day, going places, adventure. It's been wild and crazy, but now you're seeing the benefits of it. And one of the benefits of it appears to be that you have learned to think for yourself, to be a lot more independent. Unconventional thinking. You've freed yourself from the mental imprisonment of conventional thinking and become a better person. You've moved from a fox to a dog. You may think that sounds bad, but dogs are trustworthy and loyal and very supportive. There's even evidence now that suggests that human beings would not have achieved our current level of technological advancement, culture advancement, whatever you want to call it. We wouldn't have got to where we are today without dogs. They have been extremely important to us, and we have probably seriously underestimated how much they have contributed to us. So, That's something that you should perhaps consider. Maybe you have thought that being a responsible, faithful, loyal companion or friend or soulmate was boring, or just something you never wanted. But the value of that kind of a person or relationship in your life is really incredible. It has an enormous impact on you. And being that kind of a person, is a gem. They're worth their weight in gold. All right, and then we have Ladybug next to this, of course. So a vibrant, abundant life. So all of this is leading, I mean, you've got the ship here and now the Ladybug. So your life has changed considerably. And the changes are really, really positive. However, your last row is really, let's say, challenging, because you have the Twin Flames card. So you are in a soul connection. Those are extremely challenging. It's no wonder that all of this has taken place, because soul connections do that to you. You have to deal with your stuff. You have to awaken. You can't hide or pretend. You have to grow up, get in touch with your emotions, become a much more balanced person. And if this connection is one that you want to fight for, yes, you do need to be an independent thinker. You also need to be fierce and assertive without being possessive. A lot of people in soul connections really struggle with jealousy and possessiveness. That is extremely unhealthy, so you do have to overcome that. You have to be protective, not possessive. But determined, fearless, strong. All these qualities are necessary if someone wants to turn this kind of connection into a long-term connection. But if you are going to change your life in the ways that are suggested here, again, you need to be assertive, you need to be fierce, and you need to be strong. The benefits of this experience are enormous. But if you are weak-willed, if you don't do the work, if you try to stay stuck in conventional thinking, you're not going to see the benefits. So this Bear card is also referring to prosperity and the benefits of this experience. They're all there. The potential is there, but it is not easy to get there. And perhaps you are well on your way. It looks like. It really looks like a lot of progress here. Starting from, honestly, a really bad place. You were not a good person at the beginning of this, whether you thought you were or not. You were not. Whatever you may have thought about yourself, you've had to face some really unpleasant truths. I am not seeing anything here about making amends, however. Let's see what else we got. Here we have breaking things down, making something new. That's probably what you feel like you've experienced. You've been broken down so that you can become something else. Compassionate wisdom, emotional intelligence. My goodness. You've really become someone very different from where you started. We have wholeness and integration, emotional intelligence. Well, you know, I don't know why you're watching or reading. Because you're doing well. You're doing very, very well. You don't. Why would you need anyone to tell you that? Well, this is interesting. Tower. Something from the past. Something enduring, but also the need to take it slowly. You do have a sailing ship. You don't have an airplane. Sorry if I bumped it. So there are still things you don't know. Are you exploring the unknown, perhaps? Life has changed enormously for you, hasn't it? Whatever you thought it was, it's turned out to be so much more. So, why are you watching this reading? You are doing so well. What are you hoping to get from this reading? There's still things hidden from you, huh? Still things to be removed from your life. That's normal. Would you go through this kind of change? So we had the Wolverine and the bear and the maverick, and yet now we have the rabbit, which is a sense of timidity, being very, being a little cowardly, perhaps. About this is about creating a family. Of course, rabbits are known for their reproduction. So perhaps you really want to create a new life now, but you're not sure how to do it. That's understandable. It takes time. That's why the going slow card came out. You're not going to create a new life overnight. And it is going to require you to be vulnerable. And planning. You need to be careful. You need to be vulnerable. You need to take things step by step, very slowly. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a good way to progress. Because you don't want to backslide. And if you try to take big steps, then you set yourself up for backsliding. So don't do that. And yet, we have this drive, this urge to move ahead, to succeed. I suspect you're impatient, competitive, motivated, very motivated. Very competitive. So much potential. An awakening. This is the Phoenix, so it's not just an awakening, it's a complete change from who you are to who you were to who you are now. What really surprises me, sort of, is that I'm not getting a visibility card. Maybe you don't feel the need for it. Small beginnings, big results. Yes, remember, that's how you do it. Total transformation. And then we have coffin, death, loss, discouraged, defeated, down and out, over and done. What is that about? There's so much positivity in your reading. I did ask why you were interested in a reading for someone who's really made an enormous amount of progress. You're still purging things, though, still learning. There's still mysteries for you to learn, still educating yourself. I mean, still needing to remove things that are not contributing to your success. Well, this is interesting. And you need to make amends. Not really a surprise. If you want something long-lasting, you need the ability to be vulnerable, to be sensitive, to be honest, transparent. It looks to me like you really want to get together with the person that you see as your soul connection on a long-term basis. But you've probably done a lot of damage. We had the Fox card come out first, so you have treated this person very, very badly. And although you want success with them, it's not going to be easy because of how badly you treated them in the past. This suggests that there is potential. There could be a rebirth in this connection. There, but it is going to be very slow. At least to start with. Very slow. It is a very delicate situation, and it'll take a long time to repair it, to get it to the point where it is growing in a healthy manner. Some seeds take a really long time to sprout and grow. And this feels like one of those situations because it's going to require a lot of persistence, a lot of fortitude, a lot of willpower. So I get the impression that I am talking to, well, I don't know. Who am I talking to? Who are you? All right, I'm going to try this little deck that comes with this. It's supposed to be a clarifying deck, so Let's see what it has to say. Who are you? That was interesting. I pick it up and it falls out of my hand, which is pretty much what the first deck did. So, you've been through a tower, maybe several towers. Typically it's several towers with this kind of situation. Queen of Swords, Queen of Air. So Aquarius, which is most of February, within 2 to 4 weeks in winter. We have the Fool, making the leap, no matter how scary it is. Having faith. Yes, it is an act of rebellion to be the Fool and to make the leap, because there's nothing supporting this decision. And others will tell you you're crazy and be very discouraging about this. So far, unless you are this Queen of Wands, perhaps you are. So Queen of Wands would be someone with a lot of clarity, the ability to speak honestly, healthy boundaries, decisive. Now we have the Prince of Air. So this does not suggest a situation of equals. We don't have the King of Air and the Queen of Air. We have a Prince and a Queen. So it suggests that more growth is needed on the part of one of you. You're both the same suit, which suggests it's consistent with the twin flames soul connection. Well, whoever you are, we have wait. Let things unfold. Moderation, harmony, peace, balance, alchemy. Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Mars, Uranus. No, wait a minute. Those are planets. Aquarius, Gemini. So we have Aquarius, Gemini, and Sagittarius. All right. Waxing Crescent, which is gibbous, which we have right now as I'm doing this reading. Of course, it's intended to be timeless, so if it's not waxing gibbous when you are watching, then wait. Wait, let things unfold. There's this sudden upheaval, desire for action, but then you have wait, let things unfold. Saturn. Duty, cycles, accomplishment, structure, time. I get the feeling that right now, even though you really, really want to act, it's just not the time, because there are a lot of structures that have to be built, put into place, developed, strengthened. This is someone who, I guess they're a dancer, I'm not sure. Whoever they are, whatever they do, they have spent years training. This is something that they have committed to practice, whatever whatever it is that they do. They have spent years practicing and training every day. You need that kind of commitment to get to the point where you can bring this into reality. It's not going to be quick and easy. But every indication here is that you can get there. I am wishing you all the best. You're going to need persistence, but you can do it. Persistence and patience. I'm wishing you all the best.